Yeah, we've been talking about Mahayana Buddhism a lot in this show, but how does Theravada different from Mahayana, and why is Theravada your choice?
Major difference between these two are in especially in specific ways, like Theravada Buddhism mostly practiced or adopted in Southeast Asian and South Asian countries like Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, and so on. So these Southeast Asia and South Asian Buddhism is called Southern School of Buddhism. Whereas Mahayana Buddhism is adapted in Northern Asian countries like China, Tibet, Mongolia, Japan, Korea, and some parts of Russia. So it is called Northern School of Buddhism. And Theravada Buddhism, the main scripture is Pali scripture, whereas Mahayana Buddhism, adopted Sanskrit language or Sanskrit scripture. Later, Mahayana texts are written in Tibetan scripture also. And Theravada Buddhism is mostly, focused on, personal development. In other words, to make the people, the mass, free from suffering. First, you have to be free from suffering. For that, first you have to, establish yourself in a higher level of, emancipation or liberation. Then only you can free the mass or the other followers. Whereas Mahayana Buddhism more focus on, while you are practicing the teachings, in the same time, you try to, free your followers from suffering. So it is like, in other way, while you are driving, you take your followers in your own vehicle. Theravada side, it emphasizes that first, you have to be perfect. So you have to be free from all sort of your defilements. And your spiritual advancements is the most important before you, try to purify others. So this is mainly different. And also in Theravada Buddhism, monastic tradition is very important. In monastic training, you have teacher-student relationship, and there is a very close relationship between the Buddhist monks, temple or monastery, and lay followers. In Mahayana also, the monastic teachings and trainings are very important. So mainly, Theravada Buddhism focus on, purification of mind, personal emancipation, whereas also being as Arahat, which is called sainthood. Whereas Mahayana focus on more on Bodhisattva concept. Bodhisattva means a future Buddha or training candidate, training candidate for future Buddha. So Mahayana emphasize more on Bodhisattva concept. That means the Bodhisattva concept is more on mass base, doing service to the world in a greater number. So Mahayana has this Bodhisattva concept. But both Mahayana and Theravada, they share common philosophy also. Both have this Four Noble Truth and Eight Noble Path, and also, the concept of Nibbana. So these philosophical concepts you can have as common doctrinal teaching in both schools.
So you chose Theravada because you wanted to focus on your personal development and try to attain enlightenment and nirvana, whereas you thought maybe Mahayana might not be as effective as Theravada in your world, right?
Well, in my initial days, when I was just at the age of 13, in my teenage, actually, to be frank, I didn't have clear knowledge of what is Theravada and what is Mahayana. To tell the truth, it is because I am influenced by my village monastery, which is Theravada Buddhist monastery. So I got that influence from that Theravada Buddhist environment and Theravada Buddhist monastery and all the Theravada practices in the monastery. So from that, I got the initial impact to become a monk. I don't know if I got in the young days influences from Mahayana tradition. I might have become a Mahayana monk also.